What's up, guys? Not the winner here, and you guys know what time it is. Remnant 2, only a couple days away, and I want to talk about the different archetypes. Now, the revealed trailers for each of the archetypes are actually really cool, so feel free to go watch them. I'm probably going to do a short review on all of those at once coming up here soon. But as far as it goes, I wanted to talk about the archetype system because in the original game, archetypes were very interesting. You started off with your base archetype, and you could find all the buffs, like all the perks, all the gear, everything that you needed to become one of the other base archetypes. So you could basically get everything in that game. You also had perk points that you could get to buff all the perks that you found. So you could keep on getting those until you had every perk in the game. This one does not allow you to have every perk maxed out at the same time. You only have a certain amount of points that you'll be able to put in. So you're basically building a build in this one. But starting choice matters. So the archetypes now actually come. So you get obviously like the archetype trait, the very one that's specific to that archetype. But then they add it, and obviously like their unique weapon, but then perks and skills. So as far as it goes, you're gonna have three different skills, and from what I understand, you can only have one of the skills active at a time. So if you have like a heal that would heal everyone around you, or you could have like a heal with a long cooldown that revives people on the healer build. So you might want to swap to that one for a boss battle, but when you're doing like normal mobs, you might just want your basic heal, so you're getting it quicker and able just to throw out a quick heal and keep fighting, right? So that's going to be one of the bigger differences in this one. You're going to have a skill, and you're going to have to choose between like the three skills that you would have for each archetype. Now, the archetypes themselves, you can find each of the other archetypes in the game and unlock it so that you can actually swap to a different archetype, but you level up each archetype individually, and the individual like perk that you're getting that's unique to each archetype, it is locked at first. So when you have an archetype perk, it levels up with your archetype, and when you get it to its max level, you can use it in other builds, but you will have to actually use some of your stat points, or sorry, perk points on leveling it up if you want to use it in the other archetypes that is not necessarily meant for. So let's go over this stuff first, the archetype perks. So you have Prime, Damage, Team, Utility, and Relic. So Prime are going to be like the identity of your archetype, because guess what, guys? They've added dual archetypes now. So at a certain point of the game, you're going to be able to choose between two at the same time, get all the perk, all the bonuses, all the skills from each of those, and kind of combine to make your personal class, which is actually super cool. More on that later, because that's kind of like the end of what we're talking about here. But the Prime perk, so say you chose like Gunslinger first and then Medic second, the Prime perk is going to be the one that carries over from the Gunslinger, and you're not going to get the Medic Prime perk. So whichever one you place in the front is going to be the Prime perk that you get to keep. Otherwise, everything else carries over. Um, the damage perk, basically things that are going to buff your damage. Team perks are ones that are going to help the entire team at once. Utility perks are just like buffs for like more stamina for yourself, stuff like that. And then relic perks are ones that you utilize a relic, but like will give you buffs to like relic stuff. Um, so if we go into the archetype skills, we're still gonna have the weapon mod skills. So you're still gonna have like the big explosions that you can add to your gun, you know, where you shoot out like the raining fire and everything cool like that. That's all still there. But you actually have skills now that are on cooldowns. No mod power, nothing like that. Cooldowns, because they knew that we'd abuse the system and get super OP really early just from doing max mod power, right? So timed cooldowns on these skills, and then you have to swap between the ones that you actually want to have in. Three, as you see right here, three skills to choose from. Only one archetype skill at a time, though. So you got to swap between. So as far as the actual trait goes, you, like I mentioned, as you level your archetype, your trait level for that goes up as well until it's at 10. But they didn't want to be rude to us, because I was super worried that we were gonna be locked into an archetype and not be able to swap. But you can unlock all the other archetypes, so we don't even have to worry about that. Don't even need to start a new game. As soon as you get the other archetype, you swap to it, right? So that's fantastic. You could be leveling one and be like, you know what? I want to be a handler now. I want my little pooch coming with me. This little doggo is gonna go with me everywhere I go. Level one handler now. So you would have to level up the new archetype, but you're good to go from there. They're leaving it to the community to discover how to get these, so people are going to be wanting to find this out pretty quickly. I will likely have a video out on it within the first day of the game coming out, so be sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to be ready for when that does come out. I'm going to have tons of Remnant guides, tons of where to find different traits, perks, everything like that. Anyways, back to the video. So they wanted to change things because people said that they wanted to, feel value out of what they picked at the very start of the game, which honestly, me personally, I liked unlocking everything. I was like, yo, you can get everything in the game, so there's a reason to actually go find every single thing, max your character out, right? Because if not, then it's like you might find 2 or 3 builds that you really love, and then it's like, why find the other perks? So there is that argument as well. So I think they're going to get some interesting feedback of the exact opposite in this one. But so far, everything looks fantastic, and I think this game's going to slap. Like, people are going to love it more than what you think. But then they doubled it. Like I said before, there is a class system where you get dual archetypes, 2 at the same time. Double perk, double skills, double traits. So everything combined into a master class. And like it determines based on which one you put at the front is the prime, like I was saying before. So they really wanted to give us unique play styles and basically give us like a team format. So like if you got a medic in the party, you're getting heals while you're going out and like doing your gunslinging, or as far as it goes, like the 4 archetypes that we have is gunslinger, handler, which is the one with the dog, challenger, which is like the tanky one that does a lot more melee or closer range, and then medic. Um, and how could I forget about the 5th one, the hunter? So we do have those as far as like the 4 archetypes go, and honestly, I think it's gonna be very interesting getting those team comps down. But once we start getting the dual archetypes, then it's just like if you're running, gunslinger medic while your partner's running, or maybe not gunslinger medic, maybe you'd want to go like medic with the tank one so you can heal yourself as you're being like tanky, and then your buddy's going gunslinger with the handler. It's like you're sending the dog out sniping at long range, it's just going to be a really good vibe together of combining everything together into one. It does seem like they're gonna let you unlock most of the stuff, so it will be like you can have most of it, but as far as the actual perks go, you're going to be limited on how many perk points you can actually use. So you will have to figure out a build in that sense, and then you're probably not going to want to waste points on boosting up someone else's initial perk unless you're in a dual class. So you want to really pick what your primary class is going to be from the start. Now, not necessarily from the start, because you can level them all and swap, but when you're figuring out your build. One other thing to think about with your builds is your skills. What skills are going to be most useful to you as you're going through this game. And once you've determined those 3 factors, everything else can basically be unlocked. You just got to find them in the game. Now, if you guys want to find out more about this game, I'm going to have a lot more videos coming out on it. But the actual Remnant 2 YouTube channel, which you'll see if I pull up another one of these videos here, Remnant 2 YouTube channel, not a ton of subscribers on there, but if it's their official one, then I'd suggest that you guys can watch the content on there. I'm also gonna have my own take on videos, so if you want to watch mine, feel free. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in Remnant 2.